This is episode 15th and probably the last part of the famous people and celebrities who passed away in 1969 in the United States. But before we proceed, please make sure that you have subscribed to our channel. Roy Barcroft. He was born in September 1932 and he died in November 1969. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was kidney cancer. Roy Barcroft was an American character actor famous for playing villains in B-westerns and other genres. From 1937 to 1957, he appeared in more than 300 films for Republic Pictures. Film critic Leonard Maltin acclaimed Barcroft as Republic Pictures' #1 bad guy in 1917. At the age of 15, he joined the United States Army during the First World War to fight in France, where he was wounded in action. After leaving the military, he drifted through several jobs, including ranch hand, roughneck, railroad worker, and seaman, before re-enlisting and being stationed in Hawaii. After leaving the army for a second time, he played clarinet and saxophone for dance bands around Chicago until he and his family moved to Los Angeles in 1929. In 1929, he moved to California and worked as an extra and as a salesman. He was discovered while acting in an amateur theater production, a hobby which he took up to improve his speaking voice as a salesman. Ruth White. She was born in April 1914 and she died in December 1969. Her age was 55 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. Ruth White was an American actress who worked in theater, film, and television. She won Emmy and Obie Awards and was a Tony Award nominee. White began her acting career in 1940 as an apprentice at the Cape May Playhouse, a lifelong resident of Perth Amboy, New Jersey. White was of Irish Catholic descent. She attended St. Mary's High School and graduated with a bachelor's degree in literature from New Jersey College for Women, now Douglas Residential College, Rutgers University, in 1935. While pursuing her acting career in nearby New York City, she taught acting and drama at Seton Hall University. During this period, she also studied acting with Maria Ouspenskaya. Late in the Second World War, she spent 6 months in Alaska and the Aleutians touring with USO Troop. After 5 years, beginning in the 1948, she was the leading resident actress at Bucks County Playhouse. White's Broadway debut came in The Ivy Green in 1949. Magic Sam. He was born in February 1937 and he died in December 1969. His age was 32 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Magic Sam was an American Chicago blues musician. He was born in Grenada County, Mississippi, and learned to play the blues from listening to records by Muddy Waters and Little Walter. After moving to Chicago at the age of 19, he was signed by Cobra Records and became well known as a bluesman. After the release of his first record, All Your Love, in 1957, he was known for his distinctive tremolo guitar playing. The stage name Magic Sam was devised by Sam's bass player and childhood friend Mac Thompson at Sam's first recording session for Cobra. As an approximation of Maggot Sam, the name Sam was using at the time. Good Rocking Sam was already being used by another artist. In 1963, his single Feeling Good, We're Gonna Boogie gained national attention. He successfully toured the United States, Britain, and Germany. He was signed to Delmark Records in 1967 for which he recorded West Side Soul and Black Magic. Magic Sam gained a following before being drafted into the United States Army. He served 6 months in prison for desertion and received a dishonorable discharge. Mark Clark, he was born in June 1947 and he died in December 1969. His age was 22 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was assassination. Mark Clark was an American activist and member of the Black Panther Party. Clark was instrumental in the creation of the enduring free breakfast program in Peoria, as well as the Peoria branch's engagement in local Rainbow Coalition politics, primarily revolving around the anti-war movement. He was killed on December 4, 1969, with Fred Hampton, state chairman of the Black Panthers, during a pre-dawn Chicago police raid. In January 1970, a coroner's jury held an inquest and ruled the deaths of Clark and Hampton to be justifiable homicide. Survivors and the relatives of Clark and Hampton filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Chicago, Cook County, and the federal government, specifically the FBI. It was settled in November 1982, with each entity paying $616,333 to a group of 9 plaintiffs. Clark was first introduced to the Black Panther Party in December 1968 through family friend Henry Howard, who was a party member in San Francisco. Fred Hampton, he was born in August 1948 and he died in December 1969. His age was 21 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was assassination. Fred Hampton was an American activist and revolutionary socialist. He came to prominence in his late teens and early 20s in Chicago as a deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party and chair of the Illinois chapter. He founded the anti-racist, anti-classist Rainbow Coalition, a prominent multicultural political organization that initially included the Black Panthers, Young Patriots, which organized poor whites, and the Young Lords, which organized Puerto Ricans, and an alliance among major Chicago street gangs to help them and in fighting and work for social change. As a Marxist-Leninist, Hampton considered fascism as greatest threat, saying, "Nothing is more important than stopping fascism because fascism will stop us all." In 1967, the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) identified Hampton as a radical threat. In December 1969, Hampton was drugged, then shot and killed in his bed during a pre-dawn raid at his Chicago apartment by a tactical unit of the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, who received aid from the Chicago Police Department and the FBI leading up to the attack. Lefty O'Doul, he was born in March 1897 and he died in December 1969. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Lefty O'Doul was an American professional baseball player and manager. Though he spent 11 seasons in Major League Baseball, most notably for the New York Giants and Philadelphia Phillies, he is best known for his career in the Pacific Coast League, where he was a star player and a successful manager. His .349 career batting average is the 6th highest in the history of Major League Baseball (MLB). O'Doul began his professional career as a left-handed pitcher with the minor league San Francisco Seals of the Pacific Coast League. He served in the United States Navy from 1917 to 1919. His final duty station was Mare Island, and according to his obituary in the San Francisco Examiner, He separated from the Navy as a seaman first class. He had some major league success with the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox from 1919 to 1923 as a relief pitcher. After developing a sore arm, which forced him to give up pitching, he returned to the Pacific Coast League and transitioned into becoming a power-hitting outfielder. Joseph Yablonsky. He was born in March 1910 and he died in December 1969. His age was 59 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was assassination. He was an American labor leader in the United Mine Workers in the 1950s and 1960s, known for seeking reform in the union and better working conditions for miners. In 1969, he challenged Tony Boyle for the presidency of International Union and was defeated. He asked for a Department of Labor (DOL) investigation charging a fraudulent election. In addition, Yablonsky filed a lawsuit against the UMWA on 5 different charges related to fraud. On New Year's Eve, Yablonsky, his wife, and 25-year-old daughter were murdered fatally shot at home by 3 gunmen found to have been hired on orders of Tony Boyle. A total of 7 persons were convicted of murder and conspiracy to commit murder. 2 of the assassins were sentenced to death for first-degree murder. DOL completed its investigation aided by the FBI and won a suit to overturn the 1969 election. By 1972, a new election was held in December of that year and a reform candidate elected, defeating Boyle. Boyle was indicted in 1973 for the 3 Yablonsky murders. He was convicted in 1974 and received 3 life sentences. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.